Hello, America. Me again. I keep screwing this up. Someone sent me on a wild goose chase, which was very authoritative or very informative at any rate. Learning about Codex Alimentarius. This has been a wild goose chase. I've probably spent 3 weeks on it alone, just trying to pick up segments. And by the time you're done absorbing the written parts, then there's the chemical parts, and then there were the video intakes, and then I had some questions for someone else that I thought might be able to help me, and they were clueless. So let's speed everybody up because I'm just as lost, and I'd really like some input on this one. Codex Alimentarius was created in the 1930s, early 1940s. It was set up to be a way of controlling food, and I'll leave a link for you right here, right over here, so that you can grab a hold of that one. She speaks for 40 minutes, and it's a long-winded explanation, but it goes a lot deeper. I did a lot of research on just what she said, and believe me, it gets crazy. It's everything from controlling corporations who have nothing to do with your better interest, and of course it's merely the profit and the bottom line. Companies like Monsanto, the re-engineers of life, living in the pursuit of happiness. Companies like ADM, the NSFAA, which is the National Safety or National Society of Food, blah blah blah. But she goes on for 40 minutes. About the first 25 minutes are really, really informative. The rest of it is sort of a long-winded explanation, but what she says is true. And I'm going to leave you that link because everything that I backed her up, or everything that she says I can back her up on. Codex is the disintegration of food. They found nutrition or nutrients to be toxic. They've declared all nutrients toxic at this point. And I'm not really going to elaborate much concerning this because I'm not a dietitian, but knowing as a result of the United States involvement in the World Trade Organization is unconstitutional. And that's right. According to the Constitution, we don't consign ourselves to any type of international trade. We trade with nations. We don't join these little clubs and these little groups. So if they're rewriting food and they're rewriting meats and they're injecting them with growth hormones and then telling you that this is all good. Now, the growth hormone has been removed from all first world nations except for the United States. It's all been deemed toxic and poison except by the United States. But of course, Monsanto is a huge contributor to every political candidacy, and we know politicians are more concerned about being re-elected, moreover, than they are doing the people's duties. So we need to get ourselves brought up to speed on this. It has to stop. Specifically stated under trade, what is it? Codex was initiated in 1963, the brainstorm of a former Nazi, as usual. Now let's think who else is a son of a Nazi or a known supporter of Nazis. First one that comes to mind, of course, the Bushes. The whole family were absolutely fascist driven. The Schwarzenegger family. His father was a Nazi, and he's very proud of that. He believes in the Allied command system for them. The Heinz family, so maybe John Kerry. The Maxwell family, Maxwell House Coffees. Also, sometimes people think the information I'm digging up and using to try to upset people. Take it however you want, but the fact of the matter is just information, and I've spent, like I said, I've spent hours upon hours, probably 3.5 weeks just studying the Codex, and I'll also give you the link for their Codex international site. Poisons that the United States has deemed toxic to water table, to consumption. Codex says it's okay. So if the United States signs on with this World Trade Organization, then we're going to have to adapt, or adopt at any rate, the Codex Alimentarius. And they're illegal. These people were dying from some of these things. And some of these drugs, I have lists and lists of them. But we're beginning to notice a certain amount of continuity with all of this. The Food and Drug Administration actually now has an office that belongs to Codex Alimentarius. And it's just like everything else we find out with these international groups. Once they get the toe in the door, they can get their entire body coming through, and we just have to adopt it. Now, that's pretty much where I'm going to stop with the Codex Alimentarius, because like the woman that speaks in the link speaks for 40 minutes, so I don't think I'm going to drag this out any further. But just imagine the foods that you eat, The things that you put in your mouth that are supposed to provide you with nutrition will no longer provide you with any nutrition at all. And if they're deeming nutrients to be toxic, then what's considered to be a nutrient? Ask yourself that as you watch this video. And now I'm going to cancel this thing as soon as I find my mic.